Hey everyone, it's Intel here, and today I'm going to be making a video on how to really optimize your connection for Minecraft to make sure that you have the best possible performance that you can have on your computer as far as your connection and latency goes. Now, there are a few things that I want to say before I get straight into the video, and firstly is that there seems to be a lot of misconceptions out there about your connection and Minecraft. One of them specifically being that if you buy some fucking $10 Regedit from someone's fucking sell-fi shop, then that's gonna make you a better player. It's gonna give you better hits. It's gonna make the game easier, make you take less knockback. Let me tell you guys right now, that's a scam. That they're just full of shit. That literally does not make you a better player in any way. It's just it's just such a scam, like, to just exploit little kids but don't fall for that bullshit. Now you may be thinking, well, Intel, you're making a video about optimizations with your connection and you're telling us it's not going to do anything, like, what's going on here? But there are benefits to having an optimized connection, and the truth is Windows by default doesn't have the most optimized settings as far as connection for a multiplayer game goes. So you really got to do a lot of tweaking, which I'll show you all today how to really do to make sure that you're really having the best performance that you can. But again, don't expect it to really change a lot. If you really want to change a lot, then get better internet. That's really the only way, or get an Ethernet cable. Those are really the only things that you can do. But I do highly recommend that you actually take the time to optimize your internet, because Windows, just for whatever reason, does not give you the best default settings. But with that all being said, the first thing that I'm going to show you guys is this right here, and this is Badlion Client. A lot of you guys are going to know what this is because I use it in every single one of my Minecraft videos. This is essentially a separate it's a modded launcher for Minecraft that gives you a lot of mods, gives you a lot of options. It's a client-side anti-cheat, and I highly recommend this. It also boosts your frames if any of you guys care about that. But one thing that also does is it really optimizes your connection compared to vanilla Minecraft, and it really makes it feel smoother, and it's something that you can actually notice. So I really recommend that you get Badlion Client. The website's right here. I'll have it linked in the description, but yeah, you go ahead and download it. You are going to have to make a Badlion account to be able to use the client, but it's well worth it. I really recommend the Badlion Client. As an alternative, what you can do if you just want to run Forge, then there's a mod called TCP Optimizer, and it's by Purples, I believe, but you place that mod in your mods folder and it essentially does the same thing. On to our next few things. Before we get into all the other steps, I want to get into backing up your Regedit first, because the rest of these steps are really gonna do a lot of adjustment to your registry settings, and it's really good to have a backup of those beforehand in case your PC for whatever reason does not like any of the settings that are going to be changed. So the way that you do that is you hold your Windows button and you press R on your keyboard, so you get the run sort of thing. You type in Regedit, Regedit, click OK. Once you have all this opened up, you want to hit File, Export, and go ahead and save a backup of Regedit to your desktop or downloads folder. I'm not going to do that because I already have one right here, as you can see. But basically, in case you want to ever go back to your original settings, you can just double click your backup, run it, restart your computer, and you'll have all your original defaults. But that being all said and done, we're going to go ahead and go to this website link right here, and this is TCP Optimizer, and this is essentially, it's a free program that does a lot of the Regedit things for you, and it's really, really nice to have. So once you download it from the website, you'll see I have it on my desktop right here. You want to right click it, you want to run as administrator. Once you have it all open, it's going to take a little bit to load, hopefully not too long. Okay, there we go. You're going to see a lot of settings here. It's going to look sort of intimidating, but the main thing that we want to focus on firstly is this sort of bar right here. Now, firstly, you're going to want to find your internet speeds, and you can do that by opening a new tab, looking up what's my internet speeds. There's a bunch of tests, but once you find out your internet speeds, I know my internet speeds are well beyond 100 megabits per second. So in my case, you want to take this slider right here and you're going to drag it to 100 megabits per second, because that's what my speed is at, but say you have like 30 megabits per second, you're going to want to take this slider and drag it to 30. But yeah, once you have it at your internet connection, down here, we don't have to worry about all these settings right here. Make sure modify all network adapters is checked, by the way. But where it says choose settings down here, you're going to want to find optimal, and you're going to want to hit apply changes, and basically that's going to give you essentially all the optimal registry changes for your selected internet speed, and it does a lot of the work for you, as opposed to going in your registry and doing everything by hand. I'm not going to do that because I've already done it, and it's sort of redundant to do it again. The second thing that you all are going to want to do is to go to this website right here, and I'll have this linked in the description, but this is by the same guys who made TCP Optimizer, and this is essentially a guide on all the registry settings that you can do to really optimize your connection for games and such. And it's a really great guide. It tells you exactly what to do. It tells you exactly what each thing does. But for the purpose of demonstration, we're going to go ahead and do the first tweak here, which is disable Nagel's algorithm. There's a lot of stuff in here. I'm not going to be doing all of them, of course. You're going to have to go and do that in your own time. It's going to take a while, but I'll go ahead and show you guys how to do one of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold Windows, press R, type in Regedit, go ahead, get back into our registry. So from here, you are going to see all these sort of folders with drop down arrows right on the left of them. So we're going to find HKey local machine, click on the drop down, find system, click on the drop down, current control set, and then services. And we're going to scroll down. There's going to be a lot of stuff, don't worry. Just scroll down all the way to the T's until you find TCP IP, which is right here. Click on the drop down. You're going to see parameters. Click on the drop down for that. And then interfaces right here. And you're going to see a bunch of files. It may vary how many files you have on your computer. I have 6. But yeah, with all these sort of things, we're going to create some D words and basically modify Nagel's algorithm. So how we do that, we go on any one of the sort of files that we have right here, go ahead and right click, new, and then click on D word 32-bit. You don't want to do the keyword, so you go ahead and do that. We're going to name this one capital T CP, capital A CK, capital F REQUNCY, TCP app frequency. And you're gonna want to make sure it's spelled exactly like this, and the capitalization is exactly like how you see here. Go ahead and click enter, double click it, set the value to 1, and make sure it is a hexadecimal, and go ahead and click OK. Now we're gonna create another one. So new D word 32-bit value, and go ahead and name this TCP, all caps, A, make sure the A's cap, CK, oh oops, my bad, TCP no, so TCP no delay. So make sure it's like this right here, exactly the capitalization. It really does make a difference. Click enter on your keyboard, double click it and set it to 1 like we just did. Then we're gonna create another D word. It's gonna be our last one, and we're gonna name this TCP del, capital DEL ACK TICKS. Make sure it's spelled exactly like this again, and we're gonna go ahead and leave that at 0. But yeah, so for every one of these files that's under interfaces, you're gonna want to do the exact same thing. So you can see I already went ahead and did the exact same thing for all these files. You can see there's the TCP ACK frequency, TCP del ACK tips, and TCP no delay. And then after that, that's gonna basically disable your Nagel's algorithm. The next thing I want you all to do is to go to this website right here, and this is sort of similar to TCP Optimizer in a sense. It's called Black Viper, and basically it's going to do even more sort of registry settings to really optimize your PC, and all this is like automatic, so you don't have to like go in and do everything manual like the last thing that we did. But yeah, once you go ahead and install it, you're gonna see I have it on my desktop. top, you're gonna open the file, go ahead and run the .bat thing, and it's going to open Windows PowerShell, and you want to click on yes, make sure Windows PowerShell opens, and it's going to go ahead and launch Black Viper. So once you're in this thing, you want to go ahead and see system configurations. You're going to want to click on tweaked, right, and make sure this thing right here is set to all, change all services, and then from there you're just going to want to click on run script, and this will, again, it'll change some stuff in your registry. It'll do some stuff with your ping. It mostly does a lot of just in general performance enhancements, but it does do stuff to your ping. So yeah, make sure you have that done, and we'll go on to our next tip. All right, so the next thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to flush our DNS cache. And basically what that does, every time you go to a website, you log on a server or whatever, it basically stores your DNS cache of that, so it makes it easier to access. But over time, that gets really crowded really quick, and it's a good idea for every once in a while to go ahead and flush your DNS cache, and that will, depending on how much DNS cache you really have, it could make a really big difference, and it's just something that you should do periodically. But we're gonna go ahead and hit Windows R. We're gonna type in CMD. We're gonna go ahead and run it, and we're going to type in this command into your command prompt. It's ipconfig /flush DNS, just as I have here. I'll also leave it in the description if you need it, but you're going to have to run that. You might time out a little bit for your internet, and that's not something that I want to have happen right now, so I'm not going to enter it just yet. But once you have this, you just want to go ahead and hit enter, and your DNS will be flushed and it will be all nice and speedy. Alright, so the last tip I'm going to tell you guys is to change your DNS server to Cloudflare's DNS server. And essentially what that's going to do is it's going to make your connection just feel a lot speedier and snappier in general from just your average computer use. It's just really nice to have. Cloudflare's DNS server is by far the best DNS server that there is, and it may make a big difference depending on how crappy your current DNS server is. As for in-game sort of optimizations, it's not going to really do that much, but it really is an optimization that pretty much everyone should have because it's just really nice. But in order to sort of do it, we're going to go ahead and go to our control panel. And you're going to see network and internet. Go ahead and click on that. Click network and sharing center up top. And then you'll find change adapter settings, and from here you're going to find whatever internet you're currently using. You're going to right click it, click properties, and you're going to see a bunch of options over here. You want to find internet protocol version 4, right? You're going to click on properties, and basically down at the bottom over here where it says obtain DNS server address automatically, you're going to want to check that to use the following DNS server addresses. And for preferred DNS server, we're going to type in 1.1.1.1, and for alternate DNS server, we're going to type in 1.0.0.1. But yeah, that's gonna go ahead and change your DNS server to Cloudflare's. It's just really nice. It's something that everyone should have. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much about it. I think I've covered it all. Now, of course, there probably are a few other ways to tweak your connections, but this is really like the big stuff that you're gonna like really notice a bunch of stuff from. Now, again, I want to make clear that these internet settings, it's not going to make you go from 80 ms to 20 ms. That's just unrealistic. That's stupid. It might not do much to your ping whatsoever because ping and latency are two different things. But this is going to make your latency just more optimized for your PC, and you might as well have the best optimized stuff. But yeah, that's just about it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.